0.4 seconds Requiem Fear per line. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. He went for the +3 damage per soul in the previous game, but I think it might work that way. I'm not a Shadow Fiend player, but I think I remember seeing that one time.
So you think it affects the Aghanim Shard Fear?
I think it does, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What's the last ban going to be? So the Pangolier was banned out here. So
Don't
Secret. So they're under the assumption that this is going to be a right-click Shadow Fiend, though. They are banning out heroes that are not the win condition and that is going to look to make a lot of space here for the Shadow Fiend. Very similar to what we're expecting kind of Crystallis's hero to be, to look to make space for Nisha.
Give me the Dawnbreaker. I want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you can even go for your Trident, Trudent, Bristle against the Enigma.
This works too.
Man, I cannot believe we did not mention. I mean, Natsumi loves the Conquer. It's a great matchup versus the Enigma.
So does gives you. They can still flex this.
Yep. That is an incredible point. They have the potential to play the Conquer and the Shadow Fiend in both lanes because they're both the players are very, very comfortable on them.
I don't know if you'll have the damage to be able to kill this Conquer early on. Like, it's going to be all around the Morphling. And if Morphling's the one true carry, they're running out of time, by the way. They're going to get the Bat Rider. Okay. So does this mean... I mean, it's probably going to now be the Shadow Fiend mid, right? Yep. Shadow Fiend mid. Natsumi's playing the Conquer. They've switched Puppey to playing the Enigma. So this is just musical lanes right now. So it's going to be an off-lane Enchantress, it seems, going into this Conquer. Very interesting. Force Undying. This is just teams trying to, like, next level mind game each other over and over and over again. I'm here for it because I feel like at this stage, that's what you're going to need to do. You can't just draft normally and expect the enemy team to not be smart enough to be able to counter it. You've got great minds on both sides. We'll see how it works out, but I like the fact that they've switched the Enigma up to the Clockwork Undying, the Clockwork Undying Rubik Lane, got it the third time. I think it's going to do a lot of work. I think it's going to enable Crystallis to be that true Morphling hyper carry that he needs to be. And yeah, I really want to see this magic damage Shadow Fiend. I think that's going to do all right in the lane against the Bat Rider, especially with the turn rate change and all of the additional damage just from the Shadow Rays. I think he's going to have a fine enough time.
This really turns the draft upside down with the last phase and with how the heroes are getting picked up, like you said. I mean, you're now avoiding the Enigma Conquer matchup. We get to see the Enchantress once again played as a core. This time it's not going to be mid. Thompson attempted it yesterday and didn't have as much success as what they were hoping. But we're in for a treat because game 1 was really exciting. Game 2 draft looks pretty goddamn exciting as well.
It does. I'm keen to see how this is going to influence the meta because a lot of the other teams, of course, they've got scrims and that, but the teams that are in the group stage, the 18 teams that are already qualified, they're watching this. They're just seeing, okay, well, what works? Can this actually work as an offlaner? Can we get away with this Enchantress being a true flex pick? I think the Thompson mid Enchantress was a bit of a meme, to be fair, and I mentioned it mid-game that, you know, they're going for the Ag Sproink with the Tumbler's Toy, with the Hurricane Pike. It just never ended up working out. But this time around, I feel like it might work. I mean, it's specifically done for what it means for the laning stage.
So yeah, again, I think the good thing here that Secret, they're going to have, I think, a slight advantage in regards to the side lanes with the shenanigans they pulled out. I do think mid, though, it's pretty good for the Shadow Fiend.
It's skill-based, though. Like, you can absolutely get kills with this Bat Rider, but it's a lot harder than it used to be.
Yes, yeah, I'd agree. It is skill-based. It can be a bit awkward if, like, the Bat Rider needs to run up to the Shadow Fiend, and as soon as you do that, you kind of eat 2 razors. And this is also a hero that has got your, for a long time, everyone likes to kind of meme on some of the patch notes, but Shadow Fiend was one of those heroes that continuously got base movement speed buff. So you are relatively fast. He's even got to go boots as well as the next item. Already has the stick, of course, being into the Bat Rider matchup. So yeah, again, I think we're in for a treat. It's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's going to use one of those Iron Branches to just plant and eat a Tango just so that he can stay in lane longer, get those levels up as quickly as possible, and yeah, like you said, go into the Boots of Speed to both enable his own kills as well as to retreat from the Bat Rider when inevitably you're going to be going for it. And I was wondering if Puppey might try and do a bit of a repeat of what we saw yesterday and use the Demonic Conversion onto that mid lane just to give Nisha an even better time, but no, he's going to do it for Crystallis, and completely understandable.
We 4 bounties picked up as well for Polaris, so
Call
nice
it.
Little start for them. Call it. Well, this is... Lelouch missed the long raise onto the range creep. So
Okay.
something that we see kind of early on here for the Shadow Fiend. If the raise clips onto the range and also the melee as well, then you can double raise follow-up to secure. But it looks like still he should be able to do so regardless as Nisha. This is the thing. Again, you've got to also be very cautious about the spam from the Shadow Fiend, but it is a little bit more mana dependent.
The thing is, against a Bat Rider, you're not as concerned though, right? Because this is a couple of creeps. I mean, to be fair, in game one, he missed a lot of creeps as well in the laning stage, but that's just because Nisha is legit one of the top 3 mid laners in the world.
Do you
Top
still
side,
believe
Rezo might be in a little bit of trouble up here. Good body blocking by Zayats to make sure that he was tanking half of those battery assaults. And, well, they're going to back up, but level 2 is approaching pretty shortly, and he's got 2 mangoes available on AU. So I feel like Natsumi might try and go for a kill up there onto either of these 2 targets, to be honest, as soon as he picks it up.
Well, what's Zayat's role in a lane like this? Because the Clockwork is an incredible counter, not only into the lane, but also the game against the Earthshaker. So what does Zayats need to do here?
Well, I was thinking that they would try and switch it up so that you're laning into the Undying's lane, wherever it might be, and then just try and use that to be able to influence and pull creep waves, because he's got the wind lace. You're going to be able to outrun the Clockwork, and then you just pull the creep wave behind the tier 1 tower and look to farm it up that way, because you would have to say, even with an Enchantress, the lane is stronger on Polaris' side with a Kunkka and a Clockwork.
I think a big thing for them is going to be looking at just the levels. AU, if he can find that second point in the battery soul, give him the
Puppey might be
opportunity
in
to be
trouble
up
here.
bottom lane. Crystallis trying to do whatever he can to hold them back for the moment. Force has got a decay in a couple of seconds, but only level 1. Doesn't have the potential to provide the damage, but the soul will be necessary to find first blood. Again, we mentioned in the draft that Force has been playing a lot of the Undying core throughout the qualifiers. He had a lot of success on it, so we'll see if Secret are going to have the answers in this game.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to get that kill, but they recognized that Puppey didn't have a TP available. That's the only reason they went for it. They used the lift super early to get him right next to Force. They were able to secure that one there. I believe they've already finished up the energy booster as well, so Arcane Boots for Force means that he's just going to continuously look to spam out this lane. And look at the net worth already. I know it's only 3 minutes in, but he's 800 net worth ahead of Crystallis right now.
And this Arcane Boots is going to have a lot of value with Xavius as well. Another hero that likes to spam. That Fade Bolt potentially to help deal with the Eidolon. So already off to an incredible start for Polaris down bottom.
And now you've got 2 points into the decay as well, considering it's being played as a core, right? You need that farming mechanism. So you can actually start to deal with the Eidolons now, but even more so once you hit level 5. But remember, it deals that double damage to creeps. So even though Puppey will have that 40% Eidolon magic resistance once he's level 3, it still doesn't feel like it'll be able to do too much against the level 2 Fade Bolt plus the decay.
Do we feel like this game for Secret, there's going to be a lot of pressure onto Nisha to make space? Because it already looks like, again, bottom, like Crystallis is, I mean, the Morphling in general is a hero that, if you're not played as position 2, you know, like the kind of the Thompson build, you're really just, you're farming as much as you possibly can. And Puppey is going to be greedy on the Enigma. You have an Enchantress Earthshaker at the top lane, so is it all on Nisha to really make the plays?
I think it is for sure. I mean, Nisha, he comes through. I mean, he did in the last game. It's just there's only so much that one hero can do when you're going up against this fully cohesive lineup that Polaris have got. Xavius has been doing a pretty good job of making sure that these pulls aren't being completely interrupted.
Are you just going to be able to step away?
You'll be fine. How's mid lane going? A little bit of a net worth lead right now for Lelouch, although he's running a bit low on the old resources. Just had the bottle delivered through to him, though, so we'll be happy enough about that. 12 denies as well, and he's got 10 more denies than the Bat Rider and 9 more last hits. Pretty rare to see that against a Bat lane.
Do you feel like the nerfs were enough to the Bat Rider?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit more of a niche pick right now, and a lot of the mid laners that are strong actually don't have a terrible time. Top lane, Rezo, he's getting dived here, but not caught inside of the cogs, means that he's able to just walk on away.
Mid lane. Fissure into the fault from Nisha. Instant TPs coming out from Polaris. They're not messing around. They want to make sure that Nisha doesn't get off to a good start to slow down the Lucian on the Shadow Fiend.
He's here. He's got 8 stick charges, but he's running a little bit low. He wants to stick around, though, because you've got those 6-minute runes coming up, and very important for both of these heroes to make sure that you're securing that. I mean, a single haste rune or an arcane rune can really turn the tide, especially if Nisha's the one to pick it up. Are you even looking to be doubly as efficient, getting a stack off while also protecting that bottom rune? Both teams committing down onto this bottom side, and it's going to be the DD. Ayats actually ends up picking it up instead of Nisha. Should be able to secure a kill here, although if he uses the cogs, might be able to push him away. Not enough, though.
Really nicely done there from Nisha. Minor thing, but before the power rune spawn, he started to stack up the sticky napalm so that the Shadow Fiend wasn't able to step in. Natsumi with the cleave, no, not enough onto resolution. So yeah, we saw there was just like 3 stacks of sticky onto the Shadow Fiend, and in a position like that where you're not close to the tower, he couldn't really contest the rune. So a minor thing that helps him secure the kill along with the power rune.
Yeah, a lot of like what mid laners used to believe were important, like, you know, manipulating the lane, dragging them underneath the tower, blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing, of course, is still important. But in my opinion, the most important thing these days for mid laners is making sure that prior to these power runes coming up, you're influencing the lane. You're influencing the enemy team's ability to be able to contest it. And that's either by pushing the lane out, so they're forced to choose between letting a full wave go underneath their tower or securing a power rune, or, like what you just said, putting enough sticky napalm charges onto them so that they can't, otherwise they're going to die.
Force is doing a really good job down bottom to be able to keep this catapult alive. Tamed up multiple tower hits, and look how much damage they've been able to pump into it thanks to this. Very nice play.
The deny. Well, he's got 24 stolen strength, so it makes it a bit easier. I actually haven't seen what the how much damage it's going to be able to do, the level 3 decay into the level 2 Eidolons along with the Fade Bolt. So Puppey, you can see most Enigmas would just be trying to deny creeps at every single possibility, but he just can't. They're just going to die instantly, and I feel like that's what he's afraid of.
Crystallis has got some 1 charges to play with. Continuing to stalk him into the tree line. Trying to blow him up with the telekinesis to prevent those 1. Crystallis holding him off to the last second. Now Anisha's going to look to tip it down. Hey, you! Snipes Crystallis! Oh, no way. Nisha will get some revenge, but... oh, that's going to feel juicy for the Clockwork. Oh, they give him the tip, and meanwhile, look at AU. He's just soaking up some experience. Mid, love and life, and top lane as well. Lelouch, with in combination with Natsumi, got a kill onto the Enchantress, which was resolution. Keep in mind, in position 3 Enchantress, and the T1 tower goes down.
Yeah, they haven't looked to... oh, look at that clever sentry ward as well. They didn't see it somehow, or maybe they just... didn't want to reveal it, and Natsumi will be able to get... ooh, never mind. The D-ward, he actually ends up hitting the sentry instead by accident. So he's going to stick around this area for another 5 seconds, get that second torrent off. Never mind. AU again, the Rocket Master, gets a kill, helps with the D-wards. He's doing everything right now.
It's not looking good for Secret. Danok, 4,000 net worth lead. Don't have the craziest amount of kills, but look at all the cores. Polaris off to an incredible start. Trying to see what they can...
Elton John, the Rocket Man.
Elton John, okay.
Before your time, I understand.
Yeah, before my time. I can still appreciate a master in his craft. But yes, a bit before my time.
Yep. I've been so impressed by Polaris, just... everything that they're doing. You know, the lanes are solid, the rotations are there, the warding is on point. They just... more teams got to try playing with a coach, man. It works.
Wow. Yeah, we see one team in particular over in Western Europe can have some success when they bring some other members in.
Alliance,
of the organization. Yeah, sure, Alliance.
Oh no, they missed the haste rune at bottom as well. Sometimes luck's just not on your
top
side.
Lane, resolution. Drag back once again in combination. That is a filthy combo. The X to get them closer to the Shadow Fiend so we can land all the razors that would need to blow up resolution. this is a hero, especially as a core, you cannot fall behind. And we said it early on, this game's all on Nisha. He's got the boots of travel now. He has to make some incredible plays to even have a hope of Secret coming back. It's a 5,000 net worth lead this early into the game.
Bot side,
This could be the start of it. Yeah. Lasso with Crystallis nearby. Force gonna try and lay down the Tombstone, give him some extra summons to be able to get health back with the Soul Rip, but it's only level 1, so not really gonna give it too much.
It was close to living. He nearly got off that next decay and would have given time perhaps for someone else to be able to connect down onto him, but still, whatever he's doing, he's just creating more and more space for the rest of the team to be able to farm. You can see Shadow Fiend, he has opened up a 1,500 gold lead over the enemy carry. And well, this is a handy little tool to have. Now you can also get some D-wards going by Xavius as well onto the cliffs with that sticky napalm being stolen. I mean, he might look to try and make some rotations as well with the Shadow Fiend as, well, speaking of SF, he's juicy little stack. And yum, 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 yum. Just eating up all those little creeps as, yeah, I was saying before, just Shadowed Razors with sticky napalm. Do you even move? Or are you just, like, stuck in tar, basically?
You just... Oh, is it just quicksand?
Pretty much.
You keep sinking further into your own death, your own demise.
That is one of the things I'm afraid of, is quicksand.
Really? That's an interesting thing to be afraid of.
I'm afraid of a lot of things, dude. Did you see what happened? It was the trusty shovel creep.
I did. I saw his reaction as well. Oh my lord. Dude, his reaction was so funny.
Oh. That's when you know it's just not your day, man.
Oh no. Dude, that's... Alright, let's see. What can you do? Can't let these towers go down. And Secret, they're gonna try and get towards AU. Hookshot's gonna be off the mark, so Resolution will claim the kill. Nisha's gonna try and find an angle to step in. Xavier's still in the fish, is gonna help out. Meanwhile, off to the left side, Puppy's black hole. We stopped in his tracks, but Secret find a double kill. Resolution getting both the kills, some much needed gold given over to the Enchantress.
For sure, all 3 cores alive though, so it's something that you're able to rinse and reset, right? Because
look at this. Wait, sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh, look at this. No! Hey, look at his reaction.
Not like this. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. He's already having a rough day, and that just makes it even worse. They're just going to look to clump around the mid lane again. Look to try and take this tower. That'll open up a lot more of the map. And, I mean, you know, for a Bat Rider to be accelerating his farm, he needs to be trying to take some of these stacks that are being built up in his jungle. Nisha is going into a much more unorthodox position up on this top side. They're even going to start taking away a couple of these stacks.
Crystallis used the shovel for a last time, and he was very hesitant. A bounty was dropped, and he didn't know what to do. It took him a little bit of time to pick up an A. Just snipes it.
Oh, this is bullying, man. This is straight up bullying.
Bottom lane. Make an attempt onto Zayat. Xavius.
They don't have Glyph again. They also don't have the SF and the Kunkka, the main tower hitters, but at any time that they want, I mean, this is up to Polaris, whether they want to stick around, if they want to block up some of these camps, or if they're just like, you know what, we want to have 3/4 of the map for ourselves to be able to farm. Secret are just clumped into this tiny little area. So the network's just going to continue to grow.
See, they're going to try and sweep over towards their bottom jungle here on Secret. Polaris have some pretty good vision to play with the ward placed on the high ground.
You got to protect it though. You can't let them just
look at the trio running in. Off the left side, they're going to be on to Poppy. Meanwhile, back towards the outpost as well as AU finds the hook shot. That's a big echo slam from Zayat. And Secret will find the double kill. They're going to be off the mark with the boat as well, so Resolution can get back to the safety of the tower. It is a 2-for-2 trade in the end. Somehow Polaris are actually the ones that get the gold advantage, but I would imagine the experience is much needed for Secret.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything that they can do to slow this down, if they could somehow last the next 3 minutes without the glyph should have been used at that time, and they're able to get the actual reset of it, that's going to be enormous for them, because you just need to wait. You've got an Enigma. You want to get this...
Nisha's in trouble.
Oh, this will not help.
Natsumi in combination with Xavius. See if they're going to have enough damage for the moment. Zayats can disrupt this with the fissure. He's got the Aghanim shard to work with. Nisha tries to turn it around, and in fact, that's enough to get the kill. Natsumi with the armlet toggles.
Inside
will end up dying to the Firefly.
Yeah. Can't be doing that one. This does feel like a game where, you know, of course, the Blink Dagger, the Aether Lens are important for the Rubik. I'm going to need to see the Aghanim Shard picked up here, because just to be able to reposition, again, we've mentioned how important a lot of those styles of spells are. Rubik's got one, but specifically for his own team, right? So it just makes it so much easier to get away from the danger of the Batrider.
Force? Okay.
Already having the Lotus Orb.
I think for Secret, one thing, how they need to address a lot of the fights is they need to play their distance, where Diodes are very difficult for them, because once they get into the middle, them being able to retreat is very awkward. Like Clockwork's kind of hook shot in, and you're pretty much dead after that. As soon as Conker steps in before the BKB, I'll hold that thought top lane. Attribute Shift's going to be there. Beautiful reactions out of Crystallis. He okay for the moment. Has the waveform as well as AU. Attempts for the preemptive hook shot. Crystallis will escape. So again, I think for Secret, a lot of it is going to be counter-initiating and just playing your distance. Batrider, you know, trying to stack up the sticky nade from afar, trying to get the flame breaks out, trying to spam the impetus as well. You do not want to be the ones committing. You need to wait for Polaris to just overstep slightly, and then you can block off an avenue with Fissure, and then to be able to go from there. It's not going to be easy, but I feel like that's kind of how they need to take some of these team fights.
Well, they're going to be going for Roshan right now on Polaris, and I mean, they've got the Echo Slam, they've got the Blink Dagger, but they've got no ways to be able to connect through onto this. So Secret just taking their time to say, look, we want some map to play with again. Let's just try and get these lanes pushed out. Let's try and get some D wards happening. I'm a little surprised, to be honest, that the Observer Ward to the right-hand side of the mid-tier 2 tower for Radiant is still there. I mean, they've seen that this camp's been blocked off for quite some time, and I mean, it's just giving them a lot of vision of exactly where Secret are playing.
We saw what could happen last game when Polaris pick up the Ages. Start walking down some lanes, and now this time with the Lush. Up to top they go. They stole the Eidolons. Plenty of extra damage to be able to help out with the siege. He's going Aghanim Scepter for Xavius, so it'll be more of the greedier route here for the position for Rubik.
Oh, if he's feeling himself, he's feeling himself. He's allowed to be that way. But they were able to last long enough to at least get that glyph usage out that I was mentioning. It won't be able to do too much. It's just going to die a couple of seconds later. But honestly, 30 seconds of being able to farm is more than Secret have had all game, it feels. Going to try and move on back with Natsumi. Of course, one of the big strengths of the Kunkka. Very easily able to just split push out, clear out the Eidolons, and then get straight on back to playing with the rest of your team. And I mean, have a look at what the vision looks like for Secret right now. It's in a lot of pretty useless spots, to be honest, right? Like, you're not wanting to play on your side of the map if you're Polaris right now. You've got the Aegis, you've got this early-ish timing lineup.
Eidolon versus Eidolon war down bottom onto Puppey. As soon as two heroes show, though, they're going to move top onto Force. The Ward on the high ground does scout out Resolution, starting to pivot his attention to the Undying, but the rest of Secret under the cover of the smoke, so they don't have this information. Force, the Lotus Orb will not protect him, so a great movement out of Secret. This is all comes down to just Puppey making space down bottom. As soon as they see those two supports, they instantly go to the Undying.
Yeah, and they didn't commit anything heavy on it either, other than a smoke, right? No lasso being used, use the Firefly for sure, but who cares? You're very happy to be able to get that pick off, and, well, maybe it'll mean that they want to actually contest against this push that's happening without the Undying being there. Seems like they still feel like they need the farm. Morphling, of course, realizing that he needs that Aghanim Scepter against the Shadow Fiend, who, in fact, isn't going for the magic damage build that we were thinking.
Bottom lane. Under the T2 tower, beautiful fissure onto two. Nisha steps in as well. Lasso drag back into the Echo Slam and the Black Hole for good measure. A Secret are continuing to find some decent team fights at cutting this net worth lead.
Yeah, they are for sure. I mean, this is the play that I was wanting them to make, right? Force just used his TP quite shortly, I believe, and wasn't able to influence that. He's still playing around the top-hand side. If you're going to take a fight when it's 5v4, that's the time that you need to do it. It forces a pretty heavy commitment with the Black Hole and the Echo Slam being used, and the Firefly. So maybe now Polaris are like, look, we got 2 minutes left on this Aegis, level 15 Shadow Fiend, Presence Aura affects buildings. If we can't get some objectives and some kills now, there's something seriously wrong.
Beautifully done from Nisha. Gets aggressive onto Force. Never felt like he was ever really going to be able to get the kill. Maybe they thought that more people were playing behind the Batrider, but he gets 2 TPs out of it. AU top, Xavier's top. So again, and a Flesh Golem. Very good point. So we saw what Secret were able to do prior with that information when Poppy brought heroes down bottom. Maybe they won't get a kill, but it's space. Zayats gets a full creep wave at the bottom side of the map, so this is getting him closer to the blink. Well, they know that Lelouch is alone. Nisha's going to TP into the idol, and some Lelouch will be forced to pop a BKB. So now this Aegis is completely wasted. Like, you are not going to push without the BKB. Secret have done an incredible job to withstand the first Aegis.
Oh, yeah. They've done very, very good. And 75 seconds left on that BKB, on the Aegis, and you've got 100 seconds left on the Black Hole, and Echo Slam's going to be available. So you might even be able to, if they give them the space to be a little bit greedy, have that Blink Dagger available for Zayats.
Bottom lane, Natsumi. Going to run into Zayats. Lelouch is nearby. They're close to the tier 1 tower as well, so the TPs are going to start to rain on through.
Exploded.
As Natsumi just cleans them up. The cleave and the crits was all they would hope for to blow up Poppy, and Zayats is killed off as well.
He's going to TP away in time. They use the scan, but they'll see that without the trees being cut from the Firefly duration, he would have TP'd on away. So with that, they've already taken the tier 2 tower. They take on the top side, they take the outpost back, and they're just saying, look, let's try and force another glyph out of them. That was one of the big mistakes they made in the previous game, using the glyphs a little bit too readily, meaning that they weren't able to defend the high ground. So seems like that's the next main priority. Keep the lanes pushed out, let the creeps do the work. Right now, they're only committing Puppy for it, though.
Xavier's just giving them a lot of information in this invis. They see Nisha. Let's see if they're going to be able to blow him up. Oh my lord, the right-click damage from the Shadow Fiend. Last up with the last second, but no, Lelouch. They'll find the kill, and now Crystal's, he can turn it back around, playing with the Earthshaker replicate. Will give them some extra control. In fact, it was the Rubik instead. The telekinesis used to hold the support into place. Secret, again, some really nice sequence of events for the lads on Radiant. They are continuing to stall this game out, and they might be able to get an objective off the back of this.
Yeah, they're 7k behind, but they haven't taken a single tower yet, so that's really going to open up the map. They haven't had the space to be able to farm. There's the glyph. They know they're going to get it reset. Will Natsumi look to commit onto this with his BKB?
Where are you? Lands the hook. The rest of Polaris are very hesitant to move into the middle.
I don't think they should.
Natsumi will chuck out a boat, but won't help them out at all.
Puppy's got that Blink Dagger, and you've got one coming out from Zayats as well, so they've almost weathered the storm, just 400 gold away from Chrysalis being able to pick up that that Aghanim Scepter. And there's that replay. We've been speaking out AU's praises a lot this game, but there was a mistake that he made. He was playing close enough by that he probably could have landed the hook shot there and at least stopped the drag back even further. It was only like 1 or 2 right clicks that Nisha needed to be able to fall down, and you probably live on your Shadow Fiend.
See what the call is going to be for Polaris. Again, they still have this net worth lead. Positioning around the top side of the map, there's an arcane rune for them to play with. But Secret, they look like they're ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
They've got all their ultimates ready. They've got a very good Observe Ward around the triangle as well.
They don't have the Morph yet for Morphling, though. Like, they've got the Aghanim Scepter picked up, but they don't actually have that item.
Maybe a little bit of a bait here. The Silver's Edge is in. AU's going to hookshot forward as well. A beautiful target to look to take out of the fight. But Zayats lands the Echo Slam, and they just rip apart Polaris. The damage is too much for them to handle. When the ultimates get laid down, they don't have any answers. As Xavier's will whiff on the stolen Black Hole, and Secret are back into this second game.
Oh, man, it just takes a couple of little things, right? That's the thing. Zayats, he is performing all throughout this tournament. even like game 1, amazing stuns on the Nyx Assassin. This game around, just on point with the Fissures, not getting them easily stolen away by Xavius. Black holes enabled by his Echo Slams. It's a crazy amount of work that he's able to do on this Earthshaker.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Look at that. You expect the clockwork to be counter to Zayat, but they all just group up. Steps in. What an Echo. That's a couple of fights in a row that somehow has been landing these Echo Slams even though they jumped the Earthshaker.
Yeah, I think that time around it was just a little bit of a mistake from the Lush, right? He just gets a bit too close. He doesn't have the Dragon Lance, but he still had plenty of range to be able to stay away from all of that Echo waves, I guess you could call them, from coming through onto him. He needs to prioritize that Lincoln Sphere, though, of course. The Bat Rider has been the bane of their existence for so far, but I really wouldn't be surprised to see him go a little bit more of that increased attack range after that point.
Dire are scanning.
It's a very different game now. Just a single tower going down opens up a lot more space that Secret feel comfortable to be playing around. And Polaris, even though, you know, you don't have the black hole, you don't have the Echo Slam, you don't have the lasso, they're playing a little bit scared. They're saying, okay, well, maybe we're not ready to fight into this. Maybe we need that next item. Maybe we need the AC just to be able to withstand a few more of these right clicks.
Nisha's hunting. See Natsumi at the moment. Meanwhile, top lane, Xavius is going to end up going down. 3 heroes from Secret. Get the kill onto the Rubik. You were saying is the game that they've had, it's okay for him to be going to the Scepter, but it's taking him quite some time with the momentum that Secret have been building.
Even a double courier kill, very nicely done there.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Won't be the worst for Lelouch, just stops him from having a perseverance, and he's still not close enough to the Lincolns to make it matter. But now, Rezo just doing Enchantress things. Beating down a tower. Not sure if that's the greatest glyph, though. They'd lose another fight. They could lose a ton of map control.
Nisha. Oh no, they won't have the Bat Rider for this fight. Gotta be cautious, Secret, if they still want to take the skirmish. AU's gonna be in with the hook shot. I'll take care of the Enigma. Even drop the Tombstone as well from Force. But the rest of Secret, they've been able to back up. They're going to turn to try and deal with Resolution. And the X into the Requiem just evaporates the health pool. Secret, they're nearby. They've got the ward on the cliff. They're going to try and aim down the Shadow Fiend. They know the BKB was used prior. So Zayat jumps in with the Echo Slam. Chrysalis has the follow-up as well. And Polaris, they've got to get out. You cannot continue to take the skirmish. A Secret will move in and find a second kill.
Sometimes you just got to do the simple things correct, and you know, I was mentioning that maybe he was feeling himself a little bit there on Xavius, going for this Aghanim Scepter purchase. There's a ton of good spells to steal, don't get me wrong, but you could have very easily potentially closed out this game if you just had that little bit of extra cast range, or you had that save potential from the Aghanim Shard. Now Puppy's actually starting to do Roche.
Let's go, Enigma. What can't this hero do? Solo Roshan as well? Jesus. He's got the boys. They're in second Rosh. It's an important one. Secret get this Aegis. The ones in control of this game. I was going to try and play with the Tombstone, but he's never going to lead in with the BKB. AU attempts with the hook shot, but it will not be fast enough as the Aegis will be claimed in our Secret with the second life. They might look to chase down the rest of Polaris, but in the end, a 1-for-1. Did he get any components? It looks like the Aegis and the Aghanim Shard. I think we're giving over to Radiant. Where's the Shard, actually? Okay, no, Undying got the Aghanim Shard.
Okay. Not terrible. Did you give it to someone? Gave it to
Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. Well,
Lelouch is still in top of the net worth, almost level 20, working to the Lincolns next. Are we worried that a lot of the weight might be on his shoulders as the game goes on here?
I wouldn't say worried necessarily, just because I feel like he's got, of course, the capability to be able to carry out this game. He is closing in on that Lincoln Sphere, and I feel like taking away that Aghanim Shard from the Morphling is actually enormous, right? Because previously, with the relatively low amount of stuns that they've had, Chrysalis would have never gotten caught out without having that attribute shift going off. But now that you've got that little bit of an extra fear on the Shadow Fiend, it becomes a lot more challenging. Maybe you can burst down the Morphling with just that little bit of extra control that they've got right now.
Mm-hmm. And just the important thing, it really feels like Shadow Fiend is that replicate target. So if you can take away, I mean, Chrysalis went for the Aghanim Scepter. This is a 4,200 gold item. If you use Morph on the Lincolns, and all of a sudden you just completely wasted an item through a big team fight. So it is something that Chrysalis has to be aware of. He might turn his attention. Of course, he has the potential to use it on the Earthshaker if he wants to, but really feels like the main one is the Shadow Fiend because he is going for this right-click damage. And Agi hero, you will lose a lot of your stats, and there's a lot of his toolkit.
And a lot of the damage for the team as well.
Yep.
They did steal the Undying last time around just to be able to drop the Tombstone, have a little bit more of that team fight presence. And I think that's still an option as well. But yeah, for sure. Shadow Fiend, target number 1. He's level 20 now as well. He has the Lincoln Sphere picked up, so it really feels like, despite fighting into this Aegis, that Polaris are ready to try and make an attempt, but so is Secret.
Smoke up.
Good positioning by
He's going to
AU.
reveal himself. Even the high ground, ready to hook shot as well. Nisha's going to move forward with the smoke popping. Separate fight to create the moment by the outpost, though. Nisha's alone. Tries to get the last one, but instantly Lucius is going to turn it around. The Requiem's there. Chrysalis jumped into the middle, and he doesn't have any boys to back him up. The telekinesis to hold him down. And Secret, they're completely zoned. Resolution's going to be able to deal with the Tombstone, but the boat's too late as Chrysalis just waveforms away. And Polaris, are they looking to reset, or do they want to go back in? They'll lose AU on the Clockwork. Meanwhile, Force, he's out, and Natsumi as well under the cover of the BKB will escape.
That exact situation that you talked about ended up happening. They used the morph into the Lincoln Sphere, so 4,200 gold was just completely wasted by Chrysalis. He would have been able to survive if he was able to get that one off. So little things still hindering Secret's potential to be able to truly come back into this game. He's nearly level 20 as well, so he's going in BKB next, but I want to see some lifesteal come out from him as well, because we're assuming he's going to get the waveform attacks targets. I think he just needs to be able to survive on his own away from the rest of the team, because it kind of seems like how Secret are wanting to play this one.
Xavier's nice TP. Secret will find the T1 tower. They might even look for the T2 as well. They have a glyph if they want to look to play with it, but instead all the other lanes getting shoved out. Mid's going to be pushed, top's going to be pushed, and Lelouch's going to look to farm under the triangle as well. Now, ready to have a lot of information, though. They both see Force and the Shadow Fiend, so this is some intelligence. Allow Secret to do whatever they want, and they might look for Natsumi. Nisha with the blink straight on top of the Conquer's location. AU with the counter initiation, but it doesn't buy enough space for the Conquer as Natsumi is falling low for the arm. The toggles, it's not enough. The Conquer goes down, and our Secret, they've got firm control of the team fight. Tombstone lay it down thanks to the Morphling replicate. The T2 tower will fall as well. A 2-for-1. A Secret continuing to find map control, continuing to build the momentum.
They're slowly re-establishing their control. I mean, they've had such little map to play around from the beginning of this game that, I mean, again, late game Enigma, late game Earthshaker, they feel a lot more scary than a Rubik and a Clockwork for sure. It is a Rubik with Blink now. A Blink and an Aghanim Scepter and that extra cast range from the Psychic Headband. Fully strength morphed as well, so he is having a huge
It's a big kill on Nisha. It's going to be a big kill on Nisha. Oh, wow, the smoke popped and he wasn't fast on the jump.
Mm-hmm. He's got the gem as well, so that Silver Edge positioning completely revealed.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I thought the Rubik was just out of range, but yeah, I did not see the gem. So
we're human.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I am a robot. I make zero mistakes.
I see. Well, clip it. There was just one there.
Well, a malfunction happens occasionally.
Ah,
right?
true. Ares bot.
Take a look at how really the mid lane has been shaping up throughout the game so far. We mentioned earlier on that Nisha had to be a huge reason for them to be able to find a way back into this game, and with all the space that he's been able to make, comparing up against the Lelouch, who is going to be a scary prospect as the game goes on.
does feel like Polaris have lost a little bit of their mojo, right? Their confidence that they had on the early stages, needing to wait until they get their next item. But again, I keep talking about it. The late game potential for Secret feels like it far outweighs.
What on the cliff, so Inslee is going to have to blink away.
5 seconds left until that Echo Slam, and they go for a smoke of their own.
Okay. This could be a big item as well. AU just completed Wraith back, so a lot of damage mitigation now.
He's got to make sure he's with the team, though, to be able to get that pickoff happening. Preemptive Rocket Flare just around some of these choke
Force
points.
jumps in, lays the Tombstone, a big kill onto Zayat. The Echo Slam's going to be whiffed. They get no value out of it. Lelouch has to be forced to deal with the Tombstone, but thanks to the high ground positioning, the Shadow Fiend won't be able to do so. So a little bit forced out, a couple of BKBs, the life of Zayats as well.
The thing I'm liking as well by Polaris is it's very clear that everyone is on the same page. There's no individualism coming through here. And I feel like it's still on the back of AU. If he makes the call back, the team backs. No questions asked. And, you know, it was like clockwork, basically, kind of fitting, that they all just did it together as one complete unit.
What do we feel like the role needs to be for the Undying as this game goes on? Because we really have not felt the impact of Force. In the previous games, when he's been playing the Undying, has been a big reason of why they've been able to win those games, kind of snowballing. But this game, it's been completely different. So does he kind of need to change something in regards to itemization to have a little bit more impact? What do we need to see out of him?
I don't even know necessarily, to be honest. Like, maybe he's going the Shiva's Guard next, which is going to be a nice item against the Morphling, for sure. Gives them a little bit of extra vision, which is going to be nice. But it's just tank up, I guess, is the biggest thing that he needs to do. And, you know, if he's able to get into maybe a Blink Dagger, might go Overwhelming Blink a bit later on, just so that once you start to really get those decays stacking up, you could deal a lot of damage as well, just from the Overwhelming Blink, and get it onto the backline, start to you know, just one hit or two hit these squishier supports. I think that's going to go a long way.
I think another big item is soon to be completed, which is Natsumi's Hex. This now gives you a big opening to be able to blow up the Morphling. Something that attribute shift with the Aghanim Shard is not going to have an effect over.
Like in the Dragonlance as well on the Lelouch. So they're waiting for the 37-minute mark. Flicker's a pretty nice item against a Bat Rider and against the Malefice, just to be able to not have to use that BKB quite so readily. Even just the Enchanted Quiver being held by the SF right now.
Jump in. Nisha is going to be able to get the drag back. It's on to Xavius, the rest of Polaris. On the opposite side of the river. They will not be able to follow up and look to protect the Rubik, but they are still sticking around to see if Secret split up as a unit.
Speaking of that Hex, Resolution, he's got a ton of gold saved up as well, so he could very easily look to go into it for himself. They're both scouting out Roshan, realizing that this is the next key objective.
Nisha, smoke's gonna pop.
It is, and, well, quick use of the napalm, giving him all the information they could need, but he doesn't have the lasso, so he has to be a little careful.
Lelouch is going to try and charge up the Requiem. Meanwhile, to the northern side, the AU, he's been picked off. Polaris is still going to continue with the team fight. They're trying to close the distance onto Nisha.
What can Puppy
but the Bat Rider free pathing won't be able to get out of harm's way. Now look at Resolution. Just pummeling the impetus onto Force, but it's going to be cautious, so it could lose. But Zayat! In with the Echo, the Black Hole as well. A Secret land the ultimates for Xavius. The turnaround's there. Black Hole stolen, clipping onto multiple heroes, but they were lacking the damage. They didn't have the Shadow Fiend. The main damage component on Polaris was dead in the grave. Lelouch brought back, but it was too late to rejoin the fight. A Secret white Polaris.
Someone's got to check that little hat that Zayats is wearing. It's giving him special powers right now, because the man is playing like a god. He is just doing everything imaginable, and a big part of it has to be given over to his connection with Resolution as well. Just Rezo putting himself there on the front lines. Zayats, you know, he's putting himself there to get the key pick off onto the clockwork, which just means that, look at Rezo standing there with the BKB saying, hit me. What can you do? What can you do? Are you going to commit? Are you going to commit? You're going to need to, so otherwise your tombstone's going to die. And, well, without the clockwork, it just frees up space for these big plays. You know that there's going to be no interrupt for the black hole coming through. And Xavius, nice steal and a nice black hole usage, but, you know, the team fight was done.
And now this gives the Earthshaker the level 20 to extra fizzer range for Zayats to play with. And Roshan for them as well. AU's looking for an angle. Eidolons, everyone surrounding. He tried to get crafty with the angle in, but not going to be the case. Chrysalis, beyond godlike. Who would have expected the Morphling? You're taking...
Who would have expected the Morphling to be beyond godlike? I mean, it's a pretty good hero, this patch.
No. I mean, come on, man. Let me finish what we saw before, where he died to the shovel, where there were 5,000 net worth behind. The fact that he's beyond godlike, we were saying that it just wasn't his day. And well, Chrysalis, it's only a bad moment. You can always stamp that away, and he's done just that.
Yep. Died to the rocket flare as well. Those are his only 2 deaths.
That's true. Exactly. See, like, some really tricky things, some unfortunate scenarios happened early on, and he's beyond godlike.
And now he's got the Aghanim Shard as well. So previously they were fairly good at being able to find those pickoffs, be able to burst him down, or at least to get him incredibly low. But now it just feels like they don't have that potential. Top side, they're going to look to try and find this pickoff. It's just onto Xavius, but he had used the buyback previously, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be his dieback timer. 65 seconds in the grave, and opens up that top side of the map for them to be able to push into, knowing that it's a 5v4 situation. Nisha's even going for more. Completely taken over the Dire jungle, has Secret. Actually consuming the Aghanim's blessing on Resolution, so not only does he have that stupid Sproing, but he's got the Witchblade as well, so the travel time is incredibly fast. He was holding on to the... Oh,
lasso out to the right side. Look who they found. It's the Lelouch. He brought back Prior 120 seconds without the Shadow Fiend. They can look up to siege the higher ground. This could be 2 full sets of barracks here.
This could be game. He is the damage on the Shadow Fiend, and I feel like with Aegis, you're going to be feeling incredibly confident just to push in here.
Oh, that fissure, such long range.
They're swapping around neutral items as well, just so that Zayats could be in the ninja gear.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. He's got to go in with the hook shot before the X. Tatsumi almost dies. He might still tick out. A BKB has to be used. Meanwhile, once again, Xavius is caught out. The fissure from Zayats, he's done it again. The position 4 from Secret, a big reason of why they're about to close out this second game.
Oh. I mean, Force, he went for the 20 talent tombstone on death, but it feels like if you're dying at this stage, you're just going to be given the game up. It kind of felt like maybe the extra, the lower duration on the decay cooldown might have been a bit better. Allow him to be that true frontline presence. There's just way too much damage right now. Rezo, he's reached level 25. He gets that extra impetus damage as well, so he is right-clicking like an absolute beast. Even with a Moon Shard picked up on this offlane Enchantress. Rip to my pubs. If Thompson didn't do it, Rezo has just completely changed the situation.
Feels like the call for Polaris. It might just have to be give this up. 20 seconds without the Shadow Fiend. He needs some souls as well. AU's trying to charge up, and Nisha's going to get the jump before they starve the damage. It's too much. Conk is gone. He's got a buyback, so Natsumi can rejoin, but AU, a third of his health just taken away with ease, and Resolution will get Force as well before he makes it away.
Another tombstone being dropped, but it's just going to get dealt with pretty instantly.
Force is going to jump in, do whatever he can off the back of the buybacks, but Secret, they're already retreating.
Still got Aegis.
Chrysalis in the mix at all. They've got the Requiem as well, with the extra fear control. Will deal with the first life. Resolution again. If they just look to avoid the Enchantress, the impetus damage is something that you need to fear, and Resolution and Secret will be able to take this game too. What a performance from them. Secret down 6,000 gold off the back of the laning phase. They find a way to come back in and end up tying the series 1-1.
We talk about that fancy offlaner being the true carry. Resolution ended that game top of the net worth on his offlane Enchantress. I think it was 34,000 net worth that he had. What a ridiculous performance coming out from him. Top damage in the game as well. Most building damage done behind Chrysalis. Most healing done in the game. ridiculous. Most kill involvements as well. He was just doing absolutely everything, but it was all on the back of Zayat. Zayat's brought them back into that game, did the heavy lifting, and man, what a player. This is probably one of the best signings that a team has had in a long time. This Rezo Zayat's offlane duo is just doing wonders for Team Secret right now.
Yeah, Zayat's got a couple of fans out of us, I think. We've